Good afternoon, students.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Is in continuation with the direct and indirect measures of the government with respect to controlling of various economic indicators. So in this manner, we have, I'll just summarize the yesterday's discussion. We have seen the various roles of the state with respect to their economic, the country's economic activities in the use of resources, distribution of equitable income among all the people, then controlling the and stabilizing the quantity of money, then controlling the fluctuations in the economy, the fluctuations in the sense, the fluctuations of money supply, the fluctuations of prices, fluctuations happening on the interest rate, then the fluctuations is happening on the quantity of the employment and business cycle. These are all the fluctuations can be controlled. And I hope you know what do you mean, what is mean by business cycle. Students, studied business cycle. Sanjay?
Sir,
Yes. Can you please tell me what do you understand by business cycle?
sir, I do not have any idea about it.
Okay, fine.
Sir,
Yes, please.
recession, boom and depression.
Only three?
Yes, I guess, sir.
Okay, actually four. Very good. Good effort. You are recollected. Actually, the business cycle here, the point of controlling the fluctuations means the role of the government is also controlling the various macroeconomic indicators, as I told in the earlier classes. So, what is the necessary of we need to control? The government has to control over the fluctuations of these variables, because which are the determinants of the business cycle of a nation. And then we need to understand what is business cycle. Business cycle is the fluctuations happening in the economy over a period of time. What kind of fluctuations will happen? There are four phases of these fluctuations, or four phases of business cycle. One is boom, recession, then depression, then fourth one is recovery. Bhavana?
Yes, sir.
Yes, very good. So, and out of this four phases of business cycle, we have different fluctuations in various macroeconomic variables. And we have to understand what is macroeconomic variable also. The aggregate demand is a macroeconomic variable that is also fluctuate. It will go up, it will come down. Aggregate supply of goods and services across the economy, that will also fluctuate. That is also the role of the government, is to stabilize the aggregate supply. So aggregate demand, aggregate supply, general price level of an economy, that is the overall average price of the goods and services, which includes all goods and services like agriculture sector, industrial sector, and services sector put together. Then we have to control that fluctuations of the prices of the commodities across the nation. Then we have to see the other macroeconomic. So aggregate demand, aggregate supply, general price level, employment, total employment, aggregate employment, then income, national income of the nation, of the country, then GDP, gross domestic product of a country. What do you mean by GDP? Who can answer? What is GDP? Anu Sibi from MSc. MSE Anu Sibi. You're there? Meenakshi,
Yes,
you're
sir.
there? Yes, Anu Sibi. Can you define GDP?
GDP is the market price of the final goods and services produced in a country in a year.
Is it so?
I guess, yeah.
Okay. Meenakshi? Okay, Anusubi, well tried. I'll just add some more point to what you have said for a better understanding of GDP. Anusri, are you following with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So the GDP is one of the important macroeconomic variable. Before that, I got one answer. Gross domestic product. I'm not asking expansion of GDP, Meenakshi. I want the definition of GDP. Okay, no problem. So the GDP, which consists of the aggregate consumption and aggregate consumption and aggregate income and aggregate government expenditure of a nation. That is also correct. The goods and services produced in a year. Correct, Meenakshi. So how we can also measure this GDP in these ways, like how much of commodities which has been produced in a country, which includes the agriculture commodities, industrial commodities, and service-oriented commodities. So that reflects the gross domestic product. That is the production approach. We have consumption approach also, the measuring of GDP through production approach and consumption approach. These commodities has been consumed by the people. So that is also, if we calculate the consumption of the people, so that we can able to identify the amount of GDP. So the GDP is not only consists of the production of the goods and services, which consists of C plus I plus G, the amount of money which is spent on commodities or the amount of goods and services we consume, plus the amount of the income which is generated by the people across the nation, plus how much of government has making expenditure for various purposes, investment and consumption purposes or welfare measures. That is all will be taken as GDP. And GDP in general, as you Meenakshi said, that is also right. It's we can also say in this way, all the goods and services produced in a country for a particular year. It's a particular period. Normally, it will be calculated for a year. So that is also having some fluctuations. For example, the GDP may be so high or GDP will come down. It may also be negative. So GDP rate also, the production also will fluctuate. Then aggregate consumption, which is one of the important indicator of economic development. The consumption also will have fluctuations. Then investment, how much of money we invested for production. How much of money we invested for the production of the goods and services for various sectors. The aggregate investment of the country is also an important indicator of this business cycle. So aggregate income, aggregate consumption, then aggregate demand, aggregate supply, general price level, employment, then interest rate, aggregate savings. This all which plays a major role in fluctuating the economy in the business cycle. That is why those 4 phases will arise in the business cycle. Sir, if it is a depression phase, then what is the status of these macroeconomic indicators? If it is a depression, the country is in depression, what would be the employment level? Employment will be good if the country is in depression. Okay, if the country is in boom, what would be the employment? Some answer came in the chat box. Bhavana, yes, low. Yes, the employment rate will be very low in case of the economy is facing the phase of depression. If it is a boom, then so much of employment is available. People are engaged in economic activity. They are earning more amount. Yes. Yes, Sanjay, correct. Employment will be good in the boom period. So, boom is good or depression is good? Boom or depression, which one is good? We all say boom or prosperity of the economy is good. But what will happen if the economy is having prosperity? It shows boom is better, but too much period of boom will lead to depression. Okay. What is the reason for this? The answer is correct. When the economy is in boom, that is actually in the beginning it will be good because all the people will get employment. During the boom period, the income of the nation and income of the people, per capita income, everything will be so nice. But what will happen? People will have so much of money supply. That means the economy will have so much of money supply. That means the velocity of money will be so high. If people are having so much of money, but the output is constant, then it will it will create inflationary issues in the economy. Inflationary issues comes means some segment of the people will not affect, but the main segment of the people, the major segment of the people in the nation will be affected. Low class, middle class, upper middle class will be affected due to the inflation. So that if inflation arises, that means what does it mean? The price of the goods and services in the economy will increase. How we can control this price? How we can control the inflation? By using the monetary and fiscal policies. So the controlling of the business cycle, the controlling of business cycle is it's an indirect activity. Actually, what they are controlling is they are going to control the overall macroeconomic indicators, macroeconomic variables. When they control those things, when they control employment, when they control income, when they control stabilize prices, when they control stabilize interest rate, then automatically the supply of money also will be controlled. Then if it is controlled, then people will reduce their consumption due to the lesser supply of money, automatically it will reach into the equilibrium point. That means there is neither boom nor depression. It will be in a stable area. So that is the idea of achieving the controlling of fluctuations in the economy. And we have also seen the employment, how we can control and we can ensure on investment, savings and all. Then we have also discussed about the direct measures in detail. We had discussed the organizational changes will leads to the promotion of welfare of the people, the promotion of the output, the promotion of various. One more answer from who's this? Aryan. Reduction in unnecessary expenditure, increase in direct taxes, decrease in indirect tax surplus budget, or some measures to control the inflation. Reduction in unnecessary expenditure, okay, will lead to increase the indirect taxes. Can you please explain me what you're trying to say? Aryan, can you please elaborate? Aryan? Aryan Prasham, can you unmute if possible? Aryan, you are available? Okay. So network problem is there. So I'll repeat what you're trying to say. Reduction in unnecessary expenditure. So the government has to reduce the unnecessary expenditure. Because of that, what you're saying is you can go for surplus budget, right? So because of the surplus budget, we need to decrease the indirect taxes. That is also you're saying. Am I right? So by reducing the indirect taxes on goods and services, especially the GST, if you reduce the GST, that is the very good. That is a fiscal measure to control the prices. Good, Aryan. Yes, of course, it is a kind of measure to control the inflation through the government activity. That is also an important role of the government. Good. So we have checked the social and economic overheads. So we have also seen the in terms of education, the role of the government in public health, then the role of government in policy making, in increasing the rate of investment. Then we have also seen the agricultural development. We have also seen the industrial development and influencing on the use of the resources. Then removal of inequality, then optimum allocation of resources. That optimum allocation of resources also we have seen with the help of how we can allocate the resources for production and consumption, so that all the people can able to attain the welfare of the resources. Then we have also started with the indirect measures through monetary policy. So as per the monetary policies and fiscal policies, we have the government is having the indirect measures, indirect way of controlling the various aspects like macroeconomic indicators. As I told, the corrections can be taken in various monetary measures. The major measure has to be carried out to control the supply of money. Because the next chapter, when we are next forthcoming classes, we are going to elaborately discuss about what is the the concept of demand for money and supply of money. So in this controlling of demand for money and supply of money, the monetary measure is playing a very important role. Like our 5 instruments are there, no? 5 instruments will apply and control the money supply. And before that, we have to understand what is meant by money supply. What do you understand by money supply? Money which is floating in the financial market, or the money which is floating in the economy, money which is we kept in pockets, or the income when we work, we'll get salaries or we'll get profit by selling commodities. This is all money supply. Yes or no? Money in circulation, yes, yes, okay. So we can broadly divide this money supply into various categories that will be called as M1, M2, M3. What is M1? Sir, somewhere I studied it, but I forgot it. Am I right? Ajo, yes or no? Yes. Yes. Okay. M1 is all this M1, M2, M3, which consist of money supply. Please don't forget henceforth. Keep the strong fundamentals. M1 is nothing but the money with the public. All the people, all the citizens, those who are having a liquid cash with their hands, with their pockets, with their wallets, not in digital wallets, in their hand, with the hard currencies. In my pocket, I have some 100 rupees. That is M1. 100 rupees, I have it in my purse. That is M1. 100 rupees, I have it in my cabin. That is M1. So the money with the public, all peoples in the economy, it is called as M1. And M2, money with the bank. You're following, students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, because I want to tell you some of the basics so that when you're going for further analysis of various theories, these basics should be very much helpful for you. Without going this information, then by that time it is for you, for the theories, we cannot able to adopt. Okay, fine. So M1 is these things, the money with the public, money with the bank. Sir, I earned some amount, but I'm not keeping it in my hand, but I deposit it in a savings account. I have a fixed deposit account, there I invested. I also invested some money in bonds with the Reserve Bank of India. Some money I put it in recurring deposit. Some money I saved in post office savings. Some money I invested in post office as insurance. All the money which is in the bank, commercial bank, scheduled bank, post office bank, all the bank is having some money, either their own money and the public savings. It is called as M2, that is money with the bank. And we have also the another form of money, it is called as M3. So money with the public is over, money with bank is over. All the banks, private banks, public bank, commercial bank, corporate banks, rural banks, agricultural banks, cooperative banks, all the banks having money of publics and their own investment money put together is M2. M3, the money with the Reserve Bank of India, the money which I put in Reserve Bank of India by paying some amount of some money which I paid for the promissory notes or bonds, debentures, and some amount of money I invested. The bank, commercial bank, has paid as CLR, SLR, CRR, repo rate. These are all the money. The commercial bank has deposited some money to Reserve Bank of India. That money, and Reserve Bank of India is also printing currencies. Reserve Bank of India can print the currencies now. Yes, so Reserve Bank of India will also print currencies. So that currencies also will be come under the M3. So M1 is money with public, M2 is money with bank, and M3 is money with the Reserve Bank of India. Out of these three money, which money is high powered money? Foreign bank deposits comes under M2. Foreign banks deposits. What is that? Foreign bank deposits. What you're saying?
Sir, foreign banks which are working in our country.
FDI you are talking. FDI in banking sector.
Yes, sir.
Money which is came from foreign countries as investment.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, that is M2 only. Money with the bank only, because it's a bank money. I asked out of this M1, M2 and M3, which one is having high powered money? Which one is high powered money? M1 is the high powered money. Why we are calling it as M3, not M3? Why Bhavana M3?
Because of RBI, sir.
Because of RBI is an autonomous body, government agency, so they are having so much of power, so that no. How we can measure, we can define this power of money. Which money is, suppose I have some 10 rupees in my pocket, in my hand, but I have 1 lakh rupees in my bank account. Which one is having immediate reflection on consumption? This 10 rupees will help me, or that 1 lakh will help me?
10 rupees, sir.
Yes. So that is why we call which currency is having an immediate access to buy the commodities, or which is having an immediate influence on buying the goods and services, which is used for consumption purposes, that will be called as high powered money. So that the money with the public is having a good high powered money. And nowadays the recent developments in the monetary theories and the fiscal theories and the monetary and financial theories, what they told, even the gold is also equivalent to the high powered money. Some arguments, some economists, they also saying gold is also an high powered money, because instead of having 100 rupees, if you have one small piece of gold, so that we can pledge or sell immediately, because the liquidity rate is high. But when we compare with this 100 rupees in my hand and one small piece of gold coin in my hand, which one is having comparatively high powered money? Which one is having more liquidity? This 100 rupees cash. So when we compare these two, again the liquidity is more with the cash only. Then one more economists, one more group, school of thought, they also told, okay, I'm having credit card, debit card, that is also high powered money. Wherever I can go, I can swipe, I can, okay, sir, that is also high powered money. If you go to a roadside shop or if you go to a village, where you will find the swiping machine? Will it be available? No. Then
No, sir.
by the time if you have 100 rupees, then by the time the liquidity is more for currency. So the money with your hand is having a high power in for the better liquidity, so that it will be called as high powered money. Okay, that is just for your additional information I shared. So now we'll come back to our discussion on the indirect measures, that the measures which has been used for the purpose of controlling this various phases in the economy. So now the time is 3:33. We have another 10 minutes time, so that those who have not attended the pre-course test, you can start attend. Sanjay, you have informed everyone yesterday, I told.
Yes, sir. It was put in the group.
Okay, so they will be ready, I guess. Now I will just open it up. Today, February 3rd. Yes, I request all the students to log into our LMS portal. Students, I request those who have not attended the entry level pre-course test, kindly enable and kindly log into your LMS portal. There in the first portion of your course economics paper, public economics, in the general, after the main page, in the main page after the course introduction video, pre-course test is available. Kindly fill. It is already started. You have another 10 minutes to complete this pre-course test. I request all of you to those who are not done, Sai Nirshit Aryan, you have started.
Sir,
Satpreet,
I have started, sir.
yeah, kindly start.
Yes, sir, started.
Yes, yes. Thomas Sabu,
Yes, sir. Started.
Yes.
I started, sir.
Anu Sibi,
Yes, sir, I'm doing.
yes, Shashikant, Jebin,
Yes, sir. I'm
Monsi.
doing, sir.
Yes, I can able to see. That's what and Tejas.
Yes, sir, I'm doing so.
Yes. By the way, Sanjay, how many students are there in this class? MSc, how many are there?
Say 8, sir. MSc 8 students.
Okay. What about HEP?
Sir, HEP 49, I think.
49 plus 8. Okay. Joel is there? Joel? Sanjay, Joel is there?
Yes, sir, he's in the meeting.
Tomorrow 3 to 3:50 we have one economics department program related to our budget series. Today also we had a program. I hope you have joined in the morning. Sanjay?
Yes, sir, I had joined.
Tomorrow also we have program, so that 3 to 3:30 you can directly join into that program.
Okay.
Tomorrow's our class timing.
Okay, sir.
Both HEP and MSc students.
Okay, sir.
That ID will be shared. I'll try to share, or anyone is having my number, please send a message so that I will share that information. Or class representative is Joel, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ask Joel to send a message to me.
Okay, sir.
Students who are attending the pre-level test, time is going to up by another 3 minutes.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please. Joel. Joel. You came?
Yes, sir. Sir,
yes.
my network was not there, sir, so I didn't hear you what you said.
Yeah, that's what I gave the information to Sanjay, but still I'll repeat once again. Tomorrow's class timing 3 to 3:50.
Yes, sir.
We have evening one program. No, tomorrow also one program is there. Budget.
Yes, sir.
series.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
you all can join there. The ID I'll share you. Either myself or Zahir sir will share you.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, I
Okay.
think already we got the ID.
You got it for
No,
tomorrow.
that's a portal, sir. That's a portal for registration, not
that
ID.
is for
Okay,
that is for the registration. For joining ID, I'll try to share you either by me
Okay,
or
sir.
Jair sir will share you. But by the way, if possible, we can create one group for our public economics.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, we'll do it, sir.
Yeah, you create and add me also.
Okay, sir. Sir, actually, we have a group for economics. So can we add you in that?
That will also good. Yes, we don't want to create one more.
That
group.
is that we have all the combinations like EPSS, JEE English, HCP.
Then you add me and Jahir sir also.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. We'll add it in.
Okay, man. Good.
Okay, sir.
Another 1 minute to go for the pre-test. Still, some have to submit. I think only one. Who is this? Sakshi Kant. Shakshikant. Shakshikant, time is going to up. Kindly submit. Is it done, everyone? Yeah, done. Okay, good. Fine, students. I'll just close the pre-test. Okay. So up to this, we'll stop here. We'll continue the in the next class. So theoretical aspects we have to move on. So we'll continue in the next class. If you have any questions, doubts, clarifications, you can ask me. We have another 2 more minutes we can discuss. I request all of you to enable your video so that I can capture your presence. Enable your video. HU2A1019. Pani, kindly disable your video. When you are attending classes, you have to appear in proper dress code that you have to understand. Okay, Pani. Okay. Thank you, students. We'll continue in the next class.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.